Been a while. Might as well do a little unboxing while I got y'all here. Splat. This amazing little gem comes from Bolide Plastic Model Works. And I do mean that sincerely. Looking around for what I've seen as far as Cummins engines goes in this scale, this is the best of the best. So following the same format as I do with the cars, let's go see what all we got here. Now first up is a thank you letter. Little personal touches like that are truly nice. Now all of his parts are 3D printed, so everything here is kind of just a little bit of care, tips, and the do's and don'ts as far as working with 3D printed resin. Now, I highly recommend you do check him out. This is his contact information. Now here we'll just find a list of all the parts that are included with the kit. I will let you know I was a bit hesitant at first because this picture right here is the one advertised on the website. It does not look like there's a P pump there. Now with the higher res photos, I could clearly see it right there. Now I did inquire with him about the P pump on Facebook, that piece right there. And not only did he say it is included, but it also comes with some stainless steel hardware to run the fuel lines. Now on the back here, oh, it's upside down. This is where we will find the extremely detailed instructions on how to put it all together. Take note of this assembly right here. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Remember that little assembly we just talked about? Here it is in all of its glory. He does sell this in both 124 and 125th. So below here you will see the dimensions needed for all of the different fuel lines. Now if any of you have ever worked on a 12 valve in real life, you know that if you got to take one of these off, you take all of them off because you want it all to come off in its assembly. Now being able to replicate that in this scale is just outstanding. Now on the back of this we'll find more upside down instructions, but hey, that's no big deal. Now for some reason you want to build the 91.5 and older non-intercooled Cummins, there's instructions right here on how to do that. One could really build any 12 valve variant from this kit. And finally, here we go. Let's have a look at this engine. Now when I was talking to him, he said that these kits are so detailed that even if one does not want to build them up and put them in a vehicle, they could also be used in diorama pieces. And that is clearly evident. There is a rotating assembly within that block. Look at that. I would have preferred the accessories be cast separate just to make this easier to paint. Now that is just me being lazy. I do not at all mind a bit of masking or brushwork. Now this is just a generic aftermarket conical air filter. Now this should just sit onto the inlet. Oh, look at that. There's a turbine wheel in that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, that just fits perfectly on the inlet side of the turbo. part of versatility of this kit is that it is universal. It can be used in almost any kit you want to put it in. Now, that being said, I am very glad that he printed the turbo in 2 separate pieces. That will allow us to clock the inlet and outlet wherever we need them to be to fit our application. It looks like the starter and the bell housing are all molded in one piece. As you can see, the detail on this is amazing as well. There is a flywheel in there, guys. Look at that. The intake and valve covers seem to be all designed as one piece. I'm just in awe of the detail on this. Look at this. There's valves in there, you guys. Not only that, but there is a complete valve train on the other side. Rocker arms in there, everything. And with the exhaust manifold, I'm a bit tempted just to break it, just to make it more realistic to the real thing. Every single one of these on every single Cummins is broken and cracked in some place. Oil pan. And the detail continues on into the P-pump as well. I'm surprised he doesn't have a feed line for the oil on the back of that. It has everything else, including the little housing and outlet here for the governor springs. I'm almost tempted to snip off that safety wire and do a fuel plate mod. Now, just as promised, here is that stainless steel wire that we need to replicate the fuel lines. Pump is pre-drilled for this. He's got all the bases covered. We also got a dipstick. From what I can tell, this is a real piece of aluminum tubing that he had bent up and shaped into place. Now, on a real thing, that goes all the way to the back of the block and fits down into the deeper sump of the oil pan and sits on top of the intake horn. That should come off the intake manifold and route all the way to the front of the vehicle to tie into this intercooler. Now, it is very nice of him to include this. However, this is way too small for the truck application I want to put it in. However, it fits perfectly where I plan to put it in the truck that I'm going to build. It is just visible enough through the bumper to look the part. That's it though, guys. That is the 6BT 12 valve Cummins from Bolide Plastic Model Works. Keep an eye out for this build soon. I am about 95% of all the parts I need gathered, so it will be coming soon, I promise you. On that note, be watching out for the Audi R8 finale towards the end of the week.